Sir Rod and Lady Z. It's not about you, it's not about me, it's about we. And God we trust. Every Wednesday night, every Friday night, every Monday night, every Wednesday night, every Friday night, every Monday night, every Wednesday night.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Here I am. It's People to People with Rodney Grimes. Motivation Monday. I'm excited, always blessed by the best. First of all, I'm good to start off because this is just a whole new adventure for me. Before I even introduce the gentleman that's going to be sitting down with me today, I just need to first give thank and honor to God for another opportunity to move forward. I'm rolling my sleeves up today because this is that type of conversation. Um, it ain't nothing but going to be if you can conceive it, you can achieve it, and we're going to be talking about some things that's going to be real. I got a young man in here that's doing some major things. He's a prime example of putting your mind in the right direction, makes a big change in your life, um, and it's just a real powerful thing. Before I even get to also introduce him, um, I also want to make it very clear that we are making some major changes. We went from coming on at 6:30, now we come on at 7. We changed the hours down from 7 to 8. And we are making some major changes with the staff, with our program, and what's going on. Remember, we got Motivation Monday, which they will be doing that with me. And then I am so pumped up about these two girls. On Wednesday, we got Christy Love and we got Tiana. I'm talking about the Queen. That's what I'm going to call her, the Queen Tiana, because you know something. I'm trying to tell you, they got something coming for you. And also, what's going to be happening on Wednesday as well. Along with those two young ladies, we also have Hanadi Ali, who is also a life coach, phenomenal lady who's going to be coming on. So it's going to be girl talk. It's going to be that female power in the house on Wednesday, which is going to be phenomenal. I am so excited about that. I want y'all to make sure that y'all be tuning in. Something else I want to bring up, and my guest, he's going to be talking about this because part of the reason why I'm where I'm at is because of this guy. And so, as I be sharing that information, we're going to be moving to different platforms. And matter of fact, I don't even want to keep running my mouth because he's going to be able to talk about some of the things that's going to be happening because he's a major player in my life. My I don't even know. He called me his mentor. Guess what? He's mine, Mr. Dontae Cunningham.
Man, thank you so much, Sir Rod.
I appreciate
Sir
you, man.
Rod.
Yeah. First of all, this is an extreme honor, man, to have you back in the seat. My apologies for some of the things. I rolled my sleeves up because I'm not gonna sugarcoat nothing
Yeah.
today.
Okay.
You and I never did. And when you came in last time, you was like, he calls me Pops. So yeah, when I talk about him, you're gonna hear me say that. He was like, Pops, you shouldn't have did this. You should do this. Be professional. These are the things that I used to talk to you about.
100%.
And then you came right back, and I don't want to get emotional. I've been having a real emotional time,
Yeah.
but when my emotions is thankful and so proud of where you are and what you're doing. And then for you to do what you did, you came in and you critiqued me and you was like, man, you need to look at this, try this. You do professional things. You travel all over the world, and I know that's the title of the day is if you can conceive it, you can achieve it. You are a prime example.
I mean, I'm just a prime example of what you have instilled into a lot of people. And so I'm just giving it back twofold. I mean, friends, business partners, associates, whatever you want to call them. One thing about friends, friends want to see you grow. They want to see you succeed, so they want to push you forward. So I'd rather have a friend tell me, "Hey, I got a booger in my nose," than I got a million people watching a, a live stream, and now I become the next meme. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? So no, it's 100% all love, and you know what I mean. I gave you your flowers before, and I'll give them to you again. You have helped a lot of people within the DMV that have been able to expose their talents outside of the DMV. Uh, I mean, me, who am I? You know what I mean? I'm just one living proof and the one living example that's able to come back and share it with you. You know what I mean? I'm personally, I own, stealth protection services. I own the Purple Highlighter, which is a mentoring program, and then the Purple Print, which is also a mentoring program that I do inside of high schools and elementary schools. But uh, what do you want me to say? I mean, you have created a little monster in me. I think a lot of friends, a lot of people in my family, they say, "How do you do all that you do?" You know what I mean? And it's because I have a goal. I'm driven and I'm passionate about what I do. I love what I do, and I'm fortunate to have a job that I love what I do, so I'm able to bring it to the table. Everything that you've taught me from 16. I seen that picture you put on your flyer. I think I had to be about 16, 17 years old. You know what I mean? That I was telling the two queens that's before when I thought you could just buy a suit off the rack from K&G and just put it on. You know what I mean? But not knowing you had to go get it tailored. You know what I mean? Shout out to my tailor in Virginia, by the way.
But
So
you
yeah.
you always been sharp though. That's one thing you ain't never had no problem with dressing.
No, no, no. So like, I'll just pick up on the conversation we were having off camera. I don't think it's really about dressing. I think it's about wanting to stand out, wanting to make yourself be known without being known. You know what I mean? I think if you talk about conceive it, if you can't conceive it, you can achieve it. It's about being in the right place at the right time, being dressed the correct way. You know what I mean? I could sit here and apologize for, me wearing my company shirt, what I mean, today, because I'm usually in a suit and a tie, but I came right off a fight and I came right here. You know what I mean? Again, that's not an excuse, it's the reality, it's the truth.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think if you are upfront with people, you let people know what's going on,
Yeah.
then people have more a respect for you, and they also understand that you're human too. Humans make mistakes. You know what I mean? And as a friend, when I came in here last week, you know, life happened. You know what I mean? You were missing one tech was filling in, everybody was scrambling, but like that's life. Life is a scramble. So when you have all your ducks in order, it flows a lot differently. So yeah, we're back here doing it again. And yeah, I think you hold people accountable, and accountability is a big part of life. It's a big part of business. It's a big part of friendship.
I like that you use the word accountable. That's what we all have to do is be accountable for our actions.
100%.
When we was doing the showcasing and we was also mentoring in the schools, we were accountable for our actions so that when people brought us in, that we were doing things that were really beneficiary to many, many people.
But now let me share something with you. Do you realize that we also were accountable for our actions outside of the workplace, outside of the school place? Because now the new generation has these little thing called cell phones, and they have this thing called the World Wide Web. And we could go into a school, speak about one thing, and want to push kids to go to college, or push kids to do this, or push kids just to see a different outlook than what they're used to in their everyday. But what if they went to that website and they seen a whole bunch of negative stuff about us? You know what I mean? I've been in several situations just recently. I won't say who this particular client was because they work for the U.S. government, but I was sitting in the car after a great dinner with them, a business dinner, and then next thing you know, that person's chief of staff started to Google me. You know what I mean? And it is that moment where you sit there and you're like, what are they going to find? But when you know that you've been genuine about everything that you've done and everything that you have done outside or in the workplace is all good, you can sit back and just relax. And literally, they found a video of me on channel Fox News, Beyond the Dream, with the anchor Mr. Kelly Wright, and we started to have a conversation. So again, those are moments where you know who you are in front of the camera and behind the camera has to match. Because if they don't, you get yourself into trouble.
And I love that. You're right. As you know, when we were doing the PTP showcasing,
Yep.
I had to be accountable for a lot of young kids.
Yeah.
A lot of
Over
people,
25, if
yeah,
I can
over,
remember
yeah,
correctly.
it was over 25 kids, and
And that's probably just on a Monday. It's probably over about 40 on the weekend if we had an event to go to. But
or on Wednesday when we was doing the recreation center.
yep,
It was just phenomenal that a lot of people was questioning my compassion and why was these kids around me, and that's why I'm able to be on the air today because I did not ever violate. I always
100%.
showed everybody respect, and one of the things that was good was we had each other's back. You always, sometimes you every now and then you be like, "Pops, fix this," or watch. And something that was so really powerful, and this is another emotional time for me, because I got to keep it real. It's hard finding people who really believe in you, and
100%.
then one of the things I remember when you were starting your security company, you start practicing with me.
Yeah,
We would go
yeah,
places and you would go
yeah,
as my security,
yep.
and it wasn't a problem for you. You would do it like it was television.
Because I learned the aspect of, again, going back to a similar conversation I was just having with the two queens in here. If you want to do something, you got to do it all the time. You got to practice it. So again, got to give you your flowers back. You allowed me to, and listen, guys, I was, my training was Whitney Houston and Kevin Costner and The Bodyguard. You know what I mean? Like Kevin, I'm right here. Okay, the producers tell me look right here. Okay, so Kevin Costner and Whitney Houston, that was my practice. The Bodyguard. That movie I watched over and over. I still watch it to this day. We're talking about 15 years later, 16 years later. I still watch it. That's my practice. And you allow me to do it on you. And then that made me great at my job. That made me great at my job. So when I got a client, I knew how to move them. And then I started to watch how Secret Service moved. Then I started to watch how the FBI moved. Then I said I wanted to be in the FBI. And then people said, oh, no, you're not going to be in the FBI. And I was like, ah, ha, 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 whatever. And then one day at your event, and this is where we was talking about being in the room at the gospel show on a Sunday in Virginia. We were at that recreation center, the big one with the auditorium. And that's when the first time I was approached by the FBI at your show. Don't know if you know that. That's the first time the guy approached me. He said, what do you do? And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, well, what do you want to do? He said, I know what you're doing here. I see your name plastered on everything, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, security. So, you everything about being the police. And at that time, police wasn't favored in our community. And I was like, no, nobody want to be a cop. You know what I mean? He said, well, send me your portfolio, your resume. And, I'll give it to somebody. He never told me who he was. And I dropped my resume off maybe like a month or two later in Chinatown at one of the offsite offices of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, Washington, D.C. field office. And I got a phone call 6 months later to come in for an interview. And I never knew it was for the FBI until I got there for the interview. And the person said, you met this person. I don't even remember the guy's name. And even when I was in the Bureau, fast forward, I did make it into the Bureau, even when those kids said I wasn't going to make
right,
it. You know what I mean? So I did make it into the Bureau. And even with my top secret clearance and everything, I still could not find that guy that got me into the Bureau.
You know what was so funny about that though? You remind me of my nephew, Leslie Shepard.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I know
Right.
Leslie, yeah.
Okay. When Leslie was about 5 years old, I remember we throwing the football and he running. He was always fast.
Yep.
And I remember he had on a redskin hat and a redskin jacket, and he was riding. He said, "I'm going to play in the NFL. I'm going to be a professional football player." He said this when he was about 5, 6 years old,
Okay.
and he did that. I remember when you came to me and was talking about going into the FBI, and all the kids, all the other ones who were your age, was laughing and talking about, yeah, right. Oh, Dontae, he think he going boom, boom, boom. But when they came back and they really saw that you had did it, nobody could say anything. But let me tell you what was the highlight of it all. You didn't throw it in nobody's face.
No.
You did not. What you
You
did,
never taught us to do that.
yeah,
You taught us to be humble.
you always carried it. I don't care what you did, how you did it. You never came back and said, "Yo, look at me." Even when you was on the mic, when we, who was you, MC King?
MC King. Yes, yes.
When you be setting it up and you have them all up in there, you get the whole audience talking.
Thomas Edison High School.
Come on,
Eagle Palooza.
loser.
Year after year, there was pep rallies and being on the mall, man. Again, it gave me a lot of experience. It gave me a lot of resources. It introduced me to life, introduced me to people, introduced me how to conduct myself, on the cameras, behind the cameras, producing shows. Like, you gave me a lot of experience that I still have to this day. And that's the reason why we could make different phone calls and get things fixed for you, you know what I mean, so quick, because it was genuine. And I think in a business that is filled with snakes, when you meet those genuine people, you start to remember them genuine people. And those are the people that you reach back out to and say, hey, I have a friend that needs some help doing X, Y, and Z. Can you help them? And they go, yes. And they show up, they fix it. They don't send an invoice
Right.
because he didn't send an invoice.
No.
Um,
And then believe me,
If he would've sent an invoice,
if he was going to send it, I
his
needed
day
him
rate,
to
his
send
day
it to
rate is
you
pretty
because
high. No. I'm gonna say return to sender because I can't pay it either. Okay? But that's what it's about. It's about helping people, and I think when we all get on one accord, that there's enough money, there's enough business out here, or it doesn't have to be the crab in the pot syndrome.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Each one teach one, each one help, but you also got to find the ones that believe in your vision.
And that's the other thing that was really powerful. And I'm just talking about, me as an individual, and I'm talking about where I am today with people to people. This is a product of what y'all young people gave me. I want to go back and tell a story about a little something.
Okay.
It was through my kids that I had moved into the production business because I was a professional photographer. Ex-Marine, came home with a camera, started making money. Opened up a photography studio in Alexandria on Mount Vernon Avenue. Um, Started doing small different things, but then when I met you and we started seeing, at the time some of my kids was interested in the music
The
business.
music side, yeah.
So we started to do these things and start pulling this together. And it was just ironic that, I started to build. But during that process, it was never really about me. It was always about me trying to give back. And it was just a blessing that through this process, I was able to do this with you and about 25 other kids
Yeah.
that believed in me. And sometimes all of us piled up in the house. And it was crazy. But I was watching y'all develop.
Yeah.
And I was watching y'all different personalities. But all of that made me have to be a responsible individual and to be the type of person to give back.
No, and I think what 16 years later, I think what you're not realizing is that you were actually the vessel for a lot of people. I was just I just finished the Millennium Tour with Lloyd, who was one of our clients, and we was having prayer. And Lloyd always speaks about, time is the one form of currency that you cannot get back. And during that particular prayer, I think it was Vegas. This is one of our last shows day after Thanksgiving. So just recently, a young lady by the name of Ty, she made a confession to the entire group that she was depressed and she had just lost her mom and she was thinking about taking her life. We didn't know that the week before, but we had fun. She was hanging with us. We did a lot of great things. We were her support system. There, she revealed to us that we were her support system and we actually kept her alive. So to fast forward or to go back 16 years later, you creating that space, what they would consider to be, or what a therapist would say now, a safe space. You created a safe space for a lot of kids to feel safe, to feel comfortable, to come with you to their problems, but also to try to live out their dreams.
Yeah.
So just like Ty, most recently, she found herself in a safe space that saved her life. You know what I mean? You created a safe space, gave people an opportunity to do what they love to do, to create their own platform. Not a platform for you, not to put you on a pedestal, but no, for them to be sitting here 16 years later with a couple great jobs, a couple great contracts, a couple great friends, and again, giving you your blessings back. So again, thank you for creating that safe space because people don't know, you know what I mean? Me and my fiance, we just talked about this the other day. You don't know what people are going through. You know what I mean? You make an assumption because a person won't text you right back or doesn't return a phone call or says something slick of what they're going through. You know what I mean? to be honest, and I may get a little emotional right here, but I was with Wanda Sykes yesterday, and we were finishing up a show in Denver, and nobody know, but I did get a phone call that one of my great friends and another mentor of mine, Jackie Biggers, was in a place of transition, um, and I was told this right before Wanda was getting ready to hit stage, and it broke me down. It broke me down, and I went and spent some time with the family, and then I came home this morning, and it didn't hit me until I got to the airport because Jackie worked for the airport police, and I started to see the cars go by, and usually Jackie would be there, me standing there waiting until I got off the plane, and she wasn't there. I did get a chance to FaceTime with Jackie today. Um, she's fighting. You know what I mean? So you talk about a safe space. You talk about giving people their flowers. Like it's very important. And please just continue to do what you're doing.
Um, we send out prayers to her
Thank
family.
you.
We send our prayers to her family. But again, for those who are tuning in, this is People to People with Rodney Grimes. Uh, this is Dontae Cunningham. He's a CEO. He's a agent. He's a promoter. He's a good
I'm
man.
I'm just a black man trying to survive in today's
We
world.
yeah,
That's
you
it,
just a
man.
squirrel trying to get a nut.
That's it. That's it. No, 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 no. Wait a minute. Well, now, hold on. Let's not say that. You might get me in trouble right now. Now, hold on.
Oh yeah.
Because if I ever start watching this, my
My
phone
phone
gonna
is gonna
start
start
ringing, and
ringing.
your phone
Gonna
gonna start
start
ringing
ringing
too.
too.
Your phone, this Z phone gonna start ringing.
Yeah.
Don't. I ain't trying to get in trouble.
Yeah.
I don't. No, no,
But that's saying.
no, for sure.
But it's just powerful where we are today. And I was thinking today. Go ahead.
No, 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 no. I was gonna ask you. Uh, Amber made a comment today. She said, "Is the interview gonna go deeper?" So now I'm gonna challenge you. So ask me a question that will go deeper than the surface level of what we're talking about today. Like, is there anything that you can ask to really go deep? Ooh, it's a challenge.
With all the people that did you wrong, why did you continue to trust me?
Challenge accepted. With all the people that did me wrong, why I could, you never gave me. I never see another side of you. Um, there are snakes in the industry. There's snakes in. There's bad teachers. There's bad cops. There's bad everything. You know what I mean? And there are good ones at the same time. Um, you never gave me that side of you, and I don't think that side exists. You never tried to flaunt something for your own gain. You never used any type of drugs that altered your mindset, and you always encourage and motivate it. Um, you didn't spit in my face. You didn't throw a sandwich into one of my agents' face with mayonnaise and mustard. Um, you didn't belittle me. Instead, you did the complete opposite of all those things that clients have done to me. You did the opposite. You pushed. You continued to push. You didn't let up. You know what I mean? And you didn't allow me to breathe. It was, if this is what you want to do, you're going to do it. And you need to figure out a way. And you would walk away. And I was left to figure it out on my own. So you never gave me the opportunity to look at you differently. The same person who you was 16 years ago, the same person that you are right now, humbly asking for help, wanting help. You know that you can't do everything. You know what I mean? Technology may not be, what I mean, your best strong suit, but you're not afraid of asking for help. So I think to sum it up, the same person I met when I was 16 years old is the same person I met when I was 33 years old. And that hasn't changed. People get money, people get fame and fortune, people get a couple dollars in their pocket, get a couple logos on their shirt, and they start to change the way who they are.
And that's something. We say I rolled my sleeves up. When I first met Dante, he came into my family because he was dating somebody in my family. And you remember when I put the guns on the
You did.
I put the guns on
You
the
did.
step, and I said you can pick one. And I was like, yo. But let me tell you what was so powerful about that. I told you I wanted you out of my house at a certain time.
And I made sure I was out of that damn house. Okay, excuse me if you're a producer, can you beep that out? Okay.
I say 9 o'clock, 8:45. No matter what my child said, he was out that door. And when I saw that, I was like, damn,
Respect.
that was much respect. No
RESPECT.
ifs, ands about time. I even every now and then could hear them trying to convince you, don't worry here. You be like, nope.
The staff, the team down there, everybody down there, we in the office, we working. It wasn't as big as this, you know what I mean? It was a little bit smaller, you know what I mean? But we was working. But at 8 o'clock, I knew all boys had to be gone.
And
It didn't matter what my title was, even though I was your executive assistant at the time. No. Had to be gone.
But all of that, it just played a factor. When I think back on all the young females and males, man, that went through us.
Yeah.
You know, we have some people that did where I had one person that came through that ended up on I Love You New York.
Yep.
We got an individual that right now she's doing very well up in New York, doing her music. I never pronounce her name properly. Lazy, what's her name? Shanna. Y'all got to check her out. Shanna is a hell of a music artist up in New York doing her thing, man. She did come through PTP, which was Folder Time in Production. It was just funny, man, that, you know, when I think about it, I get the bubbles in my stomach. And then we was talking today, and I was telling I got a new little goddaughter. She's sitting in the room. Y'all can't see her. And she don't understand how serious I am when I take that passion in my heart to protect you. When I take that passion to try to open up a door for you,
Yeah.
you know. And so what all of y'all did was, and y'all gave me a purpose.
Yeah.
You know, when we were doing the shows, you remember sometimes we'd be up all night. But let me get off of me.
Okay.
I got to tell you something. You talking some real deep stuff.
Yeah.
You know what really got me? When you was able to get on the phone and you was talking to my man from down south sending us the pimp juice and
Nelly.
Okay, and when the stuff was coming in piles and piles, and I was like, "Where's all this stuff coming from?" And you was like, "Pops, I just talked to Nelly. They are sending this blah blah blah." And then next thing you
Pimp
know,
juice.
we had pimp juice. We had the booty shorts with the
We had all the apparel.
all the stuff for you know to market it. And several other things where you had put me in a position to be around certain people, Russell Simmons, Kevin Lyles, to name a few.
Yeah.
I just want to tell you that when I look back, you have shown me what I'm trying to get these other individuals who's working with me right now to understand. When you put the work in,
Yeah.
it'll pay off.
Oh, it will pay off. And look, anything worth having is worth working for. Anything that you are given for free, it's not worth anything. You know, my dad used to get on me all the time because he would say, "You're always giving these people all these free hours, and you working for free, working for free." I said, "I got a method. I got a method to my madness. I'm just working for them for free so I can be around other people. And when those other people want security, then that's who I charge, and that's who pays me, and that's who takes me to the next door, and that's the next level." You know what I mean?
And I mentioned that the last time we were sitting down talking with you building your company that at some point you start hiring me.
Yeah.
And start getting me paid.
But see, I think it goes back to if you know you can trust somebody, and if you know it's going to put them in a better situation, then you want to feed your family. And your family doesn't have to be the ones that have the same. First of all, a Metropolitan Police officer taught me. Her name's Kyle. She taught me you don't have to be blood to be family. You know what I mean? But family is if I have the same mentality and I want to do for you and I want to put you in a better position, I want to grow with you. That's all it was. I got an opportunity. When you get an opportunity, you always gonna think about who can you trust, who's gonna make you look good, and who can you trust.
Yeah.
Because we never believed in micromanaging. So when we got opportunities, yeah, you feed the people that were already feeding you. It's a revolving circle. Yeah. So everybody that you're working with now, it's a revolving circle. They pour into you, you pour back into them. Yeah. It's almost like being in church and you have to do tithes. You know what I mean? God's going to give you good days. He's going to give you bad days. But you can't stop tithing
Yeah,
It
yeah.
doesn't make sense.
That's one of the other things that young people out there got to understand. You got to put the work in. I was watching Kevin Hart last night,
Yeah.
and man,
The
one,
new show on Netflix.
yes,
Okay, yeah.
man, that was powerful. And I was like, man, talk about the sacrifice. And a lot of people think being famous is a beautiful thing.
Being famous is not a beautiful thing.
It's
When you have to make sacrifices for your immediate family and you have 35, I think Erica Badu said it best. You know what I mean? She wasn't herself. You know what I mean? She got 55 people on the payroll. She got this to worry about, this to worry about, this to worry about. And then she realized that she wasn't worrying about herself. So a lot of people want to be under the light, but let me tell you, under the light is great, but it has its weaknesses like everything else,
even with
or its
yeah.
shortcomings.
I go through it even now with some of the people who wonder why I do what I do. I didn't choose this. God put this in my spirit.
Hmm.
And it's not easy because people criticize you. People talk about you.
Yeah,
People think that I come on because I think I'm all that.
but
No.
but that's great because that means you're doing something right. And I think you got to have negative people because negative people. Again, I used to say this. You know, what I mean, when we used to go to schools, gas, generating an amount of source, support, and success. Ooh, I still got it. Generating an amount of source, support, and success. So when you got those people giving you that negative energy, you know what? All I'm doing is standing at Exxon and I'm pumping that gas right into my car. And as you give me that negative energy, I'm transferring it into gas, generating an amount of source, support, and success right into my 2022 BMW 750 Li. So talk whatever you want to talk about
I,
because I'm working hard for what I got.
you know what I heard Kevin say last night? He said he don't worry about what the media says.
You can't.
He said because if you do that, it'll kill you.
It
He
will.
said I don't worry about what people think about me. I concentrate on what I'm trying to do.
100%.
I was so glad to hear that last night, and I still struggle with it. I'm looking at a sign, a saying in here says, "When you feel like quitting, think about why you started. When you feel like quitting, think about why you started." Um, and that's something that I really start to do when I look around and I see people trying to make their dreams come true. What made me start?
Hmm.
And that was I like helping the old lady get her basket off the sidewalk. I like to help her get her groceries in the house. I like to help the old man who
Chivalry.
fall down,
I love it.
and he missed a step, and I go over there and everybody else laughing, but I'm over there picking him up.
Yeah.
Or I see the person who is hungry, that I go over and say, "Yo, what you want to eat?"
Yep.
These things. But where we are today, it's a struggle. I want people out there to look at yourself. A young gentleman the other day at our event, he said something very, very powerful. He said, "Go to the mirror, look in the mirror." He said, "You either going to laugh. No," he said, you either going to get sad or you're going to probably start crying." And I was wondering why he didn't say you was going to start laughing. But what he was saying is you're going to see who you are,
Hmm.
and
Powerful.
what's going to happen is you're going to see who you really are. And the crying doesn't all the time be something where you are um, crying for sadness.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're crying for joy and being thankful.
Joy or just pure vulnerability. I found myself, I mean, crying a lot in the last couple months because, again, society and the world will want to hold you down. Uh, if you're trying to buy a new house or buy a new car, they want you to jump through a million hoops. Or, unfortunately, the color of your skin. I mean, if you're getting out the car, and police drive by, I mean, they're gonna be messing with you. I mean, just because you're in a different neighborhood. I mean, but we have to empower ourselves with, the book knowledge and the street knowledge to be able to protect ourselves by using the words out of our mouth as a weapon. I mean, not in a negative way, but to protect yourself. You don't need to have a gun or, any type of weapons like that. Knowledge is power. Old school saying, what I mean? Knowledge is power. And, just knowing your rights, knowing what you're capable of doing, knowing when your rights are being violated. You know what I mean? You have to know these things. You know what I mean? Um, because at some point you will be tested.
It's just amazing. I'm sitting here and all kind of thoughts going in my mind. I know this is going to shift real quick,
Okay,
but you know who keep popping in my head?
come
Big guy, your dad,
on. My dad.
your
Oh
mama,
man.
man. That's my
He's
man.
part of the reason. He's part of the reason why he used to never give me no money. If you go watch that Fox 5 interview, you know what I mean. You know, Dad, let me get some money. He would make you work for it. You know what I mean. I remember again transparency. This is a real conversation. Ain't nobody perfect, but you know what I mean. My dad put me on punishment one year, and you know what I mean. I was a kid, 16, 17, and I tried to jump out the window. He told me go ahead and jump. Now this is like the third story of a townhouse. Why? I always ask, why you telling me to jump, man? He said, I knew you weren't going to jump. I said, but why you tell me I was going to jump? But what if I would have jumped? He said, you weren't going to jump. But what you had to understand is you can't be out Sunday night doing all this stuff and then come think you about to, be. But again, his thing was to instill values and to follow directions. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, but big guy's doing good.
Much respect to the
Yep,
man.
King K9.
Yeah, yeah,
As if
yeah.
if he was here right now, he'd say, he's the real King
Take
K9.
that guy, yeah,
So
yeah. And Mama Lisa too.
yeah, big bad Lisa. You know what I mean? African American mothers, they don't play no
You know,
games.
for real. One time, I don't even know if you remember, but one time your mom hit me up in the driveway, and she was kind of like very stern with me, and
Would have surprised me.
she was letting me know, that's my baby. You know what I mean? And I just want you, I never forget how she used to say, "Pops, you make sure you do the right thing." She was very, very direct. Much love and respect to her.
Yeah, that sounds like Lisa Cunningham. That's my mom.
But God is good, man. For everybody again that's tuning in, this is people to people. Uh,
I have a question for you.
yeah, go ahead, go ahead. What's that?
Through all the negativity, through all the downs, not the ups, through all the downs, through all the negativity, through all the things that could have killed you, all the things that probably gave you the gray hair, why you continue to give kids a platform? Challenge accepted. I believe that's what he's thinking about right now. And no, and this is a serious question because I know more than what everybody else is seeing or hearing. And when I say the things could have killed you and things that have affected your health, that probably have given you a lot of gray hair, why at your age, you know what I mean? This is no shade, as the kids would say. Why at your age do you continue to spend your time, your finances out of pocket on creating a platform for the younger generation? Because a lot of people always question why they don't get paid or I mean where the money goes to, but at the same time it's all coming out of your pocket. Why do you keep doing it?
Can you hold that question? I don't want to lose my caller.
Okay, yeah.
Caller, this is people to people. State your name and where you calling from, please.
People to people. This is once again Richard Taylor. How you doing, Mr. Grimes, Mr. Cunningham?
How
How
you
you
doing,
doing,
young
my
man?
brother?
Hey man, I'm just sitting on the road, man, enjoying this wonderful interview again, man. Mondays I begin to come to highlights of my day from about 7 to 8, man. And
Plus,
once again, I just want to thank people to people for what they're doing, highlighting, everyone who's doing something positive in their community, and especially this young brother here, man.
man,
I
thank
was
you.
just listening to the interview, man. I just want to commend you as well for being a young, African man in this world these days, showing a good example, man. And I guess it's another feather in Rodney's hat because I didn't know you were mentoring as well back in the day. So actually, it's almost like one hand washes the other. As
Yep,
I see the young man has his own mentoring program in the inner city
hundred
school. So
percent.
I definitely want to commend you for that and just the example that you have shown. With even becoming I think you said FBI agent, which is once again that's very out of the box for us, man. As you mentioned,
It is.
some of the adversity that you may have faced, by going that route, man. But I just want to thank you, man, and
Okay.
You was talking about being deep. And as far as and I heard you say you did get into the FBI, whatever. As far as the psyche of a young black man, working for this department, I don't know how much you can talk about it or if
Yeah.
you're still affiliated with them. But you mentioned yourself about how unfavorable being law enforcement is in our community. So how did that affect your psyche, especially during the present time or whatever time that you was in there, or
Yeah.
some of the things that the FBI have been known to
Yep.
do that is targeting the black community, whether it was the FBI investigation of certain groups or people who were very influential in our community. And how did that affect you, or did you see any remnants of that? If you can elaborate on it.
Full transparency, the FBI is definitely a black and white agency. And when I say black and white, I mean like old school 1916, everything in black and white. And for me, I remember being in a room with a lot of executives, over 50 plus executive members, and I was introducing something that would have caused everybody to shift from black and white and throw colors kind of into the rainbow, if you kind of follow what I'm saying here.
Okay.
And when I asked them to throw those colors, everybody looked at me crazy. And there was one person, Phyllis Watson, supervisory special agent Phyllis Watson of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, Office of Professional Responsibility, which is pretty much our investigation component for the employees. She was the one that backed me. She was the one that said we should go with Mr. Cunningham's idea, and everybody else be quiet. That was the end of the meeting. Now, after that, I did go to Ms. Watson's office, and she read me the riot act, but she said, I'm going to stand behind you. I'm going to support you, but you need to make sure this project you're talking about is going to come out and it's going to be amazing. And Phyllis retired first, and then I left the bureau. So, yes, for me, it was about making a change. All it takes is one person. They say one person can't change the world, but one person can make a difference. So, yeah, law enforcement in our community, again, it's like bad teachers, good teachers. It happens. But there are some good people that work for the bureau that still work there now. And there are some good people that, influence me. And same thing, loyalty goes a long way. I met an individual who had my back, who still has my back. She still is a mentor to me right now. And again, when you connect with like-minded individuals are going to understand where you want to go and where you're trying to go. You just got to find the right ones. That's it, brother.
I love that, Mr. Cunningham, man, and I just thank you, man, for your transparency. And also, Rodney, once again, I want to take my hat off to you, man, for that wonderful event this weekend. I know you told me to call you when I got back, man, but I got back kind of late, so I'm letting you know I did make it safe. But I just met some wonderful, great people, man, and you're doing such a wonderful job connected. And also, Mr. Cunningham, that's my passion too, working with the youth. So if there's anything that I may do to help you, or if you need anything, from me, once again, Rodney has my information, man. He'll tell you a little bit about me.
I got a question for you. When you coming up here, getting in the hot seat?
He been up here.
Okay, well you got to come back when I'm here then. Okay, you got to schedule. You go. Me, you gonna take over his show. We kick him out. Okay.
Hey, look, man, just let me know the time of the day. I'm always ready to hop on the highway.
Copy that.
I appreciate you, my brother.
I appreciate y'all too, man. Much peace, blessings, and love. Until next time.
Okay. A lot of people need to know that that's Mr. Richard Taylor, the author from Goldsboro, North Carolina. He came up to the event for the weekend. He was an amazing supporter. He has a program that's called the U-Turn, and
I
it
like
comes
that.
on. Yeah, it comes on
like that.
Tuesday night about 10 o'clock, and he's an amazing man. We got some questions, Lady Z.
No, first of all, we got to go. First of all, let's answer your question first that you are trying to shift away from, and let me recap real quick, and then we can go to Lady Z for the questions. You do it out of your pocket. This almost killed you. Why do you keep doing it?
Well, God is good. And let me give glory and praise to him first. Because when you said that at first, I started to bubble up and
You
get
did.
emotional
Yeah,
because
I seen it.
I know my passion. But why do I do it? Because I love you. I love them. And I love giving. And I had a rough childhood.
Yeah.
And it wasn't easy. And so when I see young people trying, I think about all the people that helped me when I was going through the rough times in my house.
Mm-hmm.
Levels of abuse that you can't even imagine,
Yeah.
mentally and physically. I
Well,
had people like Mr. Gaines and Mr. Putman,
there it is.
Mr. Ben, Mr. Johnson, Mr. Ferguson, Mr. Willis, Otis Jones. These people on my block of the 500 block of Payne Street that
Mm.
um, sold into me. Miss Marie, Miss Ferguson, Miss Johnson, Miss Gloria, Miss Q, Miss Murray, oh man, Miss Harris, Miss Sharp, Miss Coffee. These was all my mothers and fathers outside of chaos that I was exposed to as a child.
So you're giving back what everybody gave to you.
I'm giving back what they gave to me, and I'm giving it back unconditionally.
Thank you.
And you know what's so exciting is when I see the results like you.
Come on.
Then I am so proud, and I will not stop, no matter what.
Don't stop, brother.
That's real.
Z, what's the questions?
Hey, first let it be known that Rachel Pope is here.
Oh,
Oh,
To
yes.
God be the glory.
the
She is
queen, the
here.
queen, the lady Rachel Pope. Thank you, Lord, Father
Yes.
God. Just give you glory and praise for
She
my.
says hello.
Yes, I'm
Yes.
so thankful.
And we want to definitely acknowledge Beth Ruth.
Beth
Bethel is
Creations.
here. Boo Jones, Walter Shepard, Angela Gomez. And I think I hit everyone. So let's get down to the question. The question is from Boo Jones. He said, hold on. I had it and it got away from me. Question: one basic belief system you operate or live by.
Treat people the way you want them to treat you. That's my number one goal. Treat people the way you want to treat them. If you lie to people, then expect them to lie to you. You steal from them, expect them to steal from you. But when you come and give them all of what you give, and you give it unconditionally, then that's what I expect back. That's one of the reasons why we still best friends today.
Yeah.
Back in the day, let me tell y'all something. Can you imagine what it was like for me to walk in, a 50-year-old man or in his 40s, and me and him hanging out, and they'd say, "Excuse me, but who's the young guy?" I said, "That's my best friend." And they were saying, "Excuse me?" And
Yeah.
I was like, "That's my best friend." How is this 16, 17, 18-year-old your best friend? You know why? Because he treated me how I treated him.
Yeah.
He watched my back unconditionally. Days we was up all night working when you wouldn't go to sleep because I wouldn't go.
Yeah.
When we
Binding books and making pamphlets and doing brochures,
brochures,
but we were
man,
focused.
we stapling them
We were
together.
focused.
We was focused.
We
We
had
was
the old fashioned binder. You had to put it in there. You had to
that
pull it
put
down,
down.
and it spins it around.
Oh man, it was powerful.
Yeah.
So that's what it's all about. I just continue to treat people the way they treat me, and I
That's a
believe
good
that
one.
what you give, you're gonna get back. And let me tell you what I know for a fact: being rich doesn't mean by money,
Nope. It doesn't.
but when you can go to sleep and wake up and see the sunshine and know that you made the sunshine for somebody else,
Yep. That's
that's
way
way
more.
more worth
That's
than
way
any
more.
dollar bill you can give me.
Which goes right into my answer for Lady Z. One word is my answer, and you can take it however you want to take it. But the one word is genuine, and I don't even think you need an explanation. But if you do need an explanation, genuine. don't do something for the love of what you think you deserve or you
Right.
think you're going to get or think you're supposed to get.
Yeah.
If you do it from your heart, it'll come back,
Oh
man.
my God.
It'll come back so
So
many blessings.
yes.
I remember leaving one thing or leaving one person, and every door that I asked God to open, He opened it right after. But sometimes we hard headed. God be giving us ways out. We be like, nah, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
And then He give you another way out, and you be like, nah, I don't want to do that either. Then He give you that third chance, and that third chance He got to do something really, really big to really make you realize you need to walk away from something. And when you walk away, that genuine heart that you have had in the past, FBI, my company, cars, I'm on my third passport. You know how many stamps you got to get in a passport to get on your second passport? They could extend your passport. I have had two passports extended because of the amount of traveling I've been. I'm on my third passport right now.
I remember when you was calling us from Dubai, you was calling us from Paris, you was
Yeah.
calling us from Germany, you was calling. I was like, dude, I was
And
like,
so now you talking about traveling, but again, think about those one little small things. And people be trying to do this, you know what I mean? You know, even my lady says like she loves the big things, but it's also about the small things. You know what I mean? Z loved Paris.
yeah,
Don't you still have that ornament from
yes, he got it.
Dubai
Yes.
and Paris?
Dude,
The Eiffel Tower?
let me tell you what you did.
Hey,
You done bought that
oh,
Eiffel Tower to our house. Now I gotta take her to the Eiffel Tower.
again, we pushing dreams, we pushing goals, we pushing,
Right.
we're trying to push the element. We're trying to think outside the box. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
All the time people put us into a box and say we can only go left, right. But what about if I go diagonal?
yeah.
What if I go horizontal? That's still a line of travel, but everybody's used to left, right, up, and down.
Well,
Let's be different.
you know the good thing is just some of the watchers. You know, I have some people that you know that talk to me, and I hope you don't get mad because I'm gonna call his name out. My cousin Walter. Z said he was watching, and he talked to me and he told me that he believed in me.
Come on.
He told me that I was gonna make it. He told me he sees something in me.
Yep.
At 61 years old, that
That's how
meant,
old you are?
yeah.
Oh, man, I thought you was like 42. Okay, go ahead.
That's why I love you. That's why I love you. So you want to know? That's when he told me that.
Yeah.
When he talked to me like that, that's what I'm telling my little new goddaughter over here. Uh, I'm so bad with name. What's your name, baby?
Maya.
Maya. My baby over here. I was talking to her. She might have saw me be bubble up a little bit because she don't understand. When my cousin told me that,
Hmm.
he gave me some drive to keep going.
Yeah.
Right? So I take that drive he gave me and I'm giving it to Maya.
Yeah.
Maya's only 20 years old.
Yep.
See, Maya's not gonna come in here and quit. Maya's not gonna come in here and not tell me that she can't conceive something and not achieve it.
Understood.
See, that's not gonna happen. When she tell me she want to be a skateboarder, then I'm gonna try to find a skateboard, and then I'm gonna tell her go get on it.
Well, she wants to do photography,
Is that what she said?
Yeah.
Oh well, then it's
so
all
she in
right.
the right place.
She in the right place.
And so even Walter and some of your other family members, from a young brother, and guys, this is not a race thing. You know what I mean? This is more just a reality. But thank you to all the brothers. Thank you to all the single fathers. You know what I mean? That's taking care of their kids. Thank you for all the brothers that are brothers, fathers. You know what I mean? Just good role models to people out there because in the African American community, unfortunately, the circle has gotten very very small of men, not boys, men that are really out there trying to make a difference.
Yeah.
So when you continue to do what you do, and everybody that comes sit in this chair, you know what I mean. And again, not a color situation, but thank you. Just a shout out to all the black powerful men that's out there that is being supportive in whatever role that you're playing. Keep pushing and keep being supportive. And let me be very clear. There's nothing, and there's an old school saying behind a good man is a good woman. Let's just correct that for everybody. You know what I mean? Standing next to a good man is a good woman or a greater woman. We can't do nothing without the women. So we got to remember to keep our hands off of women, to treat our women fair. And ladies, y'all gotta treat us fair too, cause y'all be doing some stuff too from occasion time to time. I'm just saying, you know what I mean. I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want to get in trouble, but respect goes both ways. It's equal. But I do want to correct the piece of a woman is never behind a man, and a man is never behind a woman. Without a woman, we wouldn't be standing here.
Thank you.
But at the same time, we got strong partners standing to the left and the right. For me, I got my mom. You know what I mean? I got my fiance Amber. You know what I mean? Then I have my 2 kids. You know what I mean? Anaya. You know what I mean? And Zoe. I got a support system. King K9, Pops. You know what I mean? We got people. Phyllis Watson, Eric Hood. I mean, we got names for days, but. This is not a shout out session. This is
so first of all, I want to just really let some people know that it's very important that you go to YouTube, subscribe. Also remember that we're changing up the platform. Please get people to look. We got to get our numbers up. We're getting ready. Dontae is adamant about coaching me on different changes, so you're gonna see them. He's a doer. He's not a sayer. He'll call me, Pops. Yo, do this. The one thing I used to get mad with him is I'm a procrastinator. He'll wait 5-10 minutes and call me right back and say, "Are you started yet?"
And I'd most of the time, no.
I'm like, no. He said, "Stop what you're doing and do what I just told you to do."
But again, that's nothing but somebody knowing the potential that you have and pushing you to your limits. And that's what we got to do for all of us. So we got to push everybody to our limits. Yeah, Maya is 20 years old. We all should be pouring into Maya. Everybody that's listening
That's right.
should be pouring into Maya. You know
and they do that. When y'all pouring in, do it through people to people. Because Maya going to show y'all, we just said this publicly. So Maya says she want to be a photographer. Maya, when you get a chance, I got several cameras. We get ready to do some shooting. Yeah. So you shouldn't have never opened up your mouth because you just opened up a can of worms.
No. Well, you got to correct that statement. She should have opened her mouth.
No.
Because you want them to speak and you want them to tell
you right.
what they doing and what they intrigued in. Because if you try to take her to a cooking class, she ain't going to be trying to cook because you want to take pictures. So you'll be wasting your time and her time. And Maya look like, y'all can't see her on camera, but she look like, don't waste more. Wow. Okay.
Also, I want to tell y'all too, just pay attention to what's getting ready to happen. Let me tell y'all need to come on Wednesday. Come on Wednesday, watch these girls what they get ready to do. I got my 2 girls, Tiana and Christy Love. I'm telling you, Tiana the queen. Now, you got Queen Rachel. Queen Rachel is Mother Queen. I just said you a queen because Tiana, you got a great future ahead of you, and you got an old soul, and I see it. And Christy get ready to rock y'all world. Christy she got some fantastic ideas, some things we get ready to bring to the table. Y'all need to tune in on Wednesday. Our new hours is 7 to 8. We want to also thank a special shout out to everybody that came to the event on this past Saturday, the December 11th People to People networking event. It was phenomenal. Shout out to Pinky Slate and his son, Junior. I mean, this brother here, I can't wait. And Beth Creations, phenomenal. This woman.
I heard Beth killed it.
Oh, Beth is not to be played with. I heard Beth killed
it. Beth, I don't know you, but I heard stories already.
Yeah, and Leslie Shepard, my cousin Tammy, all the people that I can just shout out. My brother Gotti, my friend Dino from New York. I mean, I'm talking about everybody that was there. You know what I mean? And check this out. I'm not mad at the ones that couldn't make it. Because I know that you had our heart. Because even when I talked to Dontae, he was like, "Yo, man, I got to work." But I know if he had the opportunity to be, he would. Of
course.
But I just want to just shout out and please, and also remember, it's all about the girls. The girls get ready to take over. Let's talk about it Wednesday. The girls get ready to take it over. I'm trying to tell y'all, I'm getting ready to show y'all my skills. I'm going to show y'all my skills because I'm getting behind them. 100%. We getting ready to show y'all what it's really about, changing your lives. We got Coach Hanadi Ali that's going to be coming in starting next Wednesday. We got Christy Love. Christy is off the Richter scale. Listen what I'm telling you. Christy is like a train running blind on a track that's going straight where you want to go. And when I say that, she ain't looking at the speed. All she doing is she gonna take you where you want to get.
Accelerate.
And Tiana, let me tell you something. T is an emotional individual. T talk from her heart. She's talking from her journey. She's talking from other people's perspectives. It's not really just about her. It's about her being that type of person that want to give. And I know that because I've been watching her. And I'm telling y'all gonna be in for a treat. So y'all gonna see me lean over. You can put it, Dontae, take us out and let me put this music on and give them a little something to just take them out with, please.
Man, continue to be great at whatever it is that you do. People are gonna tell you no, but keep pushing forward. You know what I mean? And live life. Tomorrow's not promised to no man or no woman. Anything can happen. Pray for your loved ones. You know what I mean? If you got people that you're arguing with, if you got people that you're mad at, try to make amends with them, because at this point, if COVID hasn't taught us one thing, COVID has taught us that, anytime, any place, it could be your time. You know what I mean? But until next time, power to power, people to people, positive thinking people. If you can't conceive it, you can't achieve it. I've been saying that for 16 years of my life. I'll never forget it, and that's the only way to do it. And remember, we own the rights. Hey! Yeah!
Real Talk Live with Rodney Grimes.
It's good, man. It was good, baby.
Power to power.
It's good.
Positive thinking people. Yes, what's
This
up,
is what's
Rod
up.
and Lady Z.
Appreciate you, man.
It's not about
Do what
you.
we do.
It's not about me. It's about we. And God we trust.
Somebody asked me, what's that mean? PTP.
It do kind of sound like,
Positive thinking people.
a little baritone.
PTP.
Hey.
Positive thinking people.
It's a freestyle for me and Sir Rod. We in Virginia, we doing our thing. And we Motivation Monday, just hanging out, chilling, laid back. That's not my full time job. Let me stop.
Everybody know this is my man. Talk about coming with the master plan. We
Woo!
gonna take you to the level where you need to go. I'm gonna tell you, we gonna take it and we move it slow.
Maya says she wanna get behind the camera and shoot 1, 2, 3 photo shoot. She got it going on. We got the queens in the building and this going down. Hey,
Wednesday night, we coming back at you 7. We doing the take it right. We're gonna take it and gonna blow your mind. We're gonna take it and let you know it's photo time. PGP, baby.
we out. Cut the cameras off. It's over. Producer, cut.